All right, we live with another one. We back with another official episode about the Bench Podcast. This is the 24th episode, man. We 24 of them mugs in, and I appreciate everybody who been sticking and rolling with us since the very beginning, since the first episode. Like I said, we are 24 episodes in. So if y'all new tuning in, y'all go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and follow us on all social media platforms. You can follow me on TikTok at We Off the Bench. You can follow me also on Instagram at We Off the Bench, and of course, your on your very own YouTube right here. You can type in on your YouTube search bar We Off the Bench all together, no spaces. We Off the Bench all together, no spaces. Once again, that's where you can find me and find more high level talk like this. And also, we got more on the way. Bigger and better things on the way for season 2. That's why y'all gotta go ahead and subscribe. So make sure y'all stay tuned, man. So today, this podcast, I will be talking about Monday Night Football. Los Angeles Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And also, we got the Eagles. The Eagles, they getting a dominant win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We also got some big information, some big news for y'all. Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. So, that will be the main things that we'll be talking about right there for today's episode. That will be our 3 topics. So without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and hop right into that mug right now. And the first game we're gonna go and get into is the Monday Night Football game, and that's just the Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Eagles, they came out and did their thing. They came out and put their foot on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' throat, made sure they couldn't breathe, and they didn't play with them. The defense was suffocating. The defense being the defense. You know what I'm saying? Eagles defense is what's been holding them down. They won by two. They won by 2 scores. I think it was 25 to 11. Uh, yeah, I think that was the score to the Eagles game. Uh, the Eagles defense. I want to give out a huge shout out to the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense, they've been holding it down for them since the first 3 weeks. While the offense been kind of, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say struggling because they haven't putting up points, and they are 3-0, but they haven't been looking as clean, as he usually be, or it ain't been looking as clean as it was last year. I don't know if that has a lot to do with them not playing in preseason, where they not having that, they not feeling where they all on the same page. A lot of miscommunication going on. I think Jalen Hurts not reading the field properly. I don't know what's going on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. But I must say, the Eagle defense is something to not be played with for real, for real, for real. The Eagle defense is strapped season. At all 3 levels, they are very elite. That front four offensive line with Fletcher Cox and Graham and all those guys, and the middle linebacker core, and the secondary with Slay and Bradbury and Blakership and all those guys. The Eagle defense is pretty solid and pretty complete over there. The Eagle defense, they allow 145 rushing yards in 3 games, which is very, very good. They allow 8 sacks. Not allowed 8 sacks. They got 8 sacks in 3 games, 2 interceptions. They third in the lead in takeaways and turnovers. That's that Eagles defense right there. The main reason why they 3-0. They've been stamping in the butter right there. Jalen Hurts, he haven't played the best of football yet so far in these first 3 weeks of the NFL season. But I'm pretty sure he can get I'm pretty sure that later on in the season he'll come around and show what Jalen Hurts is really made of. You know what I'm saying? Just right now, I just think Jalen Hurts, he got another gear, another level that he can reach into, that he can tap into. Cause we seen it all last year, with the record they did and how he took this team to the Super Bowl. With a half away from winning the Super Bowl. He was up at halftime. And of course, Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes like things, coming back and winning. But besides that, Jalen Hurts just ain't been looking the same. Right now, this game, Jalen Hurts, even though they did won by 14 points, Jalen Hurts was 23 of 37, 277 passing yards, which is very mediocre. He had 1 touchdown with 2 interceptions, uh, which is not gonna cut it. He didn't have the cleanest of games. Jalen Hurts, he got 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in his first 3 games of this NFL season so far, which goes to show you how bad that he's been struggling right now. He just haven't been able to get it going. I don't know what it is. Like I said, just watching Jalen Hurts, he just don't look the same. He just don't look comfortable in the pocket. He just don't look comfortable, making his reads down the field, making his progressions down the field. It just something different about it. The Eagles are 3-0 because mainly because of their defense and in their offense. I mean, in their run game, they got the best offensive line in the game. One of the best run game attacks in the NFL. In their first 3 weeks, right now they got 557 rushing yards. They averaging about 5 yards a carry. They second in the league in rushing. Their running game is what been keeping the Philadelphia Eagles alive, and that's gonna be their bread and butter for the rest of the season, for the foreseeable future. Swift been running the hell out that ball. The Philadelphia Eagles, the O line, what I'm saying? They've been putting belt to ass on any defensive lineman that they've been seeing. They've been giving Jalen Hurts good protection back there. Whenever you can get 557 rushing yards in 3 games of an NFL season, that just goes to show you how dominant that offensive line is and how dominant that run game attack is with that play calling and the scheme that they've been able to put the ball in Swift hands and be able to run it off a big yardage. They're averaging 5 yards a carry. So in 2 plays, they can get first down just by running the ball. It don't matter. Uh, Second in the league in rushing. Like I said, this gonna be their bread and butter. This is who the Eagles are. They can change it up week in, week out. They can beat you passing. They can beat you running. They can beat you defensively. They can beat you playing physical. They can beat you so many ways, a multitude of ways. And I just think, with the offense kind of struggling, not getting it all together, with Jalen Hurts not being, you know, the Jalen Hurts that we are accustomed to the standard that we hold Jalen Hurts to. He just haven't been matching that right now. And that's what makes the Philadelphia Eagles so scary, that they are 3-0, that they are still winning games without having their offense all the way where they need it to be. And that's just a testament to their defense. Their defense, you know, hats off to them, man. They just been strapping in these first 3 games. Hopefully they can keep it up. I can definitely see the Philadelphia Eagles being like a top 5 defense when it all comes down to it. With that secondary, with that pass and attack that they got over there. They got some dogs at the corner. They got some dogs at free safety. They got some dogs on the defensive line. They got a lot of dogs everywhere on that defense. So I really believe in this Eagles defense right here. But I'm not just gonna put too much into this game with against Tampa. You is going up against Baker Mayfield, and I say this in the most disrespectful way. Baker Mayfield just not on Jalen Hurts level. He never will be. He never was. Uh, and that's not saying much that you came out and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 14 points. You came out and did what you were supposed to do. And with all that being said, Jalen Hurts, you still didn't come out here and have a better performance than Baker Mayfield. And that's kind of concerning. Uh, you did come out here and get the W, but when is Jalen Hurts gonna wake up and be able to be Jalen Hurts that we all accustomed him to knowing? When he had to play these defenses like Dallas Cowboys, when he had to go up against these 49ers in all these different games where he gonna have to actually make plays, and where you gonna need Jalen Hurts to be, a top 5 quarterback that a lot of people view Jalen Hurts as a top 5, top 6 quarterback. You have to be that in those type of games in order for them to get to where they want to be and ultimately, get over that hump where they was last year. Uh, but yeah, that's really all I got to say on the Eagles. They did what they supposed to do against a less superior team, a less inferior team. They came out and gave them a beating. That defense strapped up as I expected them to. We still looking for that offense to get going to how they can, being a high powered offense. But right now, we just gonna have to stick with this. And I just think that's just a solid win. You can take, win trumps everything. Once you get that win, no matter what they can say, long as you win, you can just go to bed at night, sleep perfectly, and just wait until next week, to the next opportunity to be able to, to say you can redeem yourself for your bad play. But the W is all that matters, man. Cincinnati Bengals, with their offensive struggles, they finally got their first W. They finally got in the win column. And man, if they would have lost this game against the Los Angeles Rams, I think that would have showed you a lot about the how the Bengals season was gonna fare up. The Bengals offense haven't been able to get it clicking. Joe Burrow, he did come into the season with a calf injury, So which was kind of what is basically compromising and handicapping the Cincinnati Bengals offense, where Joe Burrow not being able to extend plays, not be able to make get himself out of harm's way, he not be able to roll out the pocket, and be a playmaker that Joe Shiesty is. You just got to sit in that pocket and hope that his offensive line, which is one of the worst offensive lines in NFL history, uh, one of the worst lines in NFL history, and that's what you're relying on just to keep Joey B just in the pocket. I just don't think that's a good way, to keep going about it. Uh, even though that they did win this game, Joe Burrow didn't have just the best of games. Even though that they did win this game, Joe Burrow, he was 26-49 for 259 yards with no touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He just came out here, he gave you all he can got. He gave you all he can give. But in a game like this, 26-49 for 259, no touchdowns. That was just enough to get you a win right there. Enough to get you a win against the Los Angeles Rams. Not to discredit the Rams by any means or nothing, any of that stretch like that. The Rams, a fairly good team. They put up more of a fight. That offensive line, is atrocious. That's why Matthew Stafford, they had Cincinnati Bengals white jerseys all in his face all game. But not to that point right now. But you know what I'm saying? They won this game because Joe Mixon had 19 carries for 65 yards, for one TD, the only TD that was scored in this game by the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase had 12 receptions for 141 yards. So that means 12 out of the 26 completions that Joe Burrow had, 12 of them came from Jamar Chase, and the rest of the 14 came from all over. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of glad that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase was able to kind of get they connection going a little bit. Those first 2 weeks before heading into this game, Jamar Chase, he kind of expressed that his frustration a little bit. He not getting the touches that he would like, the target that he would like, coming into this game. Then he came and gave him a big time offensive putting the offensive outing right there with 12 receptions, 141 yards. That's the type of game that you want from your star receiver, your wide receiver one, your QB one that is compromised a little bit. Them the type of game that you want coming out here and get the win. But speaking on the offensive struggle of the Cincinnati Bengals, they got a 46% 3-and-out rate, which is the highest in NFL. Which means whenever they get in a third down situation, 46% of the time, you know what I'm saying, that defense is gonna come out here on the field because they're not gonna convert the third down, and which is very concerning once they get to playing like these. They in the AFC, they get to playing these other high power offenses, the other electric defenses that they will have to go up against in order to win games to get to where they want to go. Having a 46 3-and-out rate is not the direction you want to go. They one of two teams in the NFL not to score a touchdown in the first half. The only other team outside of the Cincinnati Bengals is to do that is the New York Giants. And the New York Giants got a 40-piece put on them, and they almost lost to the Arizona Cardinals. That should let you know everything you need to know about the New York Giants right there. I think the New York Giants, they is one or two on the season right now. They is not a threat on any stretch of any means. Offensively, Saquon is hurt. So that just goes to show you how bad that the Cincinnati Bengals offense been struggling, how bad that they've been executing on the offensive end. Last Monday night, T. Higgins had 8 targets for 2 receptions, 21 yards. All season long in these first 3 weeks, T. Higgins haven't been able to get it going. I don't know what's been going on. Like I said, I don't know if it's Joe Shiesty with his calf injury. I think he getting the ball to him too late. He getting it too early. He throwing it, or he just not looking a way where they not able to get in rhythm. Something is going on with the Bengals offense where it's like T. Higgins, like 8 targets, 2 receptions, 21 yards. You can't interest me in that. I don't want that. I can't do nothing with that. Them leftovers. You know what I'm saying? For that to be a wide receiver too, arguably, he got 6 less targets than Jamar Chase. And everybody view Jamar Chase as the top 5 receiver in this NFL. And they play on the same team. T. Higgins had 6 less targets than Jamar Chase, and he just gave you 8 targets, 2 receptions, 21 yards. I can. What can I do with that? I can't do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Chase has only been targeted 6 more times than Higgins, like I just stated right there. When you got your second bet, your wide receiver 2, arguably your wide receiver 1B, having inputs like that, albums like that, you not winning too many playoff games like that. You gonna find yourself at home. You know, it's already bad enough that Joe Burrow came into the season injured, and it looks like he's not gonna be able to get better anytime throughout this season unless he sit down and take his rest, which looks like it's very rare because they started off the season 0-2. They needed this game, like I said. If they didn't win this game tonight, the Bengals. I'm not gonna go out and say the Bengals season is over, but statistically looking, the Bengals season hypothetically was gonna be over in a way. Uh, but the what they got they got 3 total touchdowns on the season, 1 coming from special teams. So that means to tell you Joe Burrow has only been able to get the ball in the end zone twice in 3 games. And we all know, and when the going gets tough and the tough get going, which is in the playoffs, and you got these grind out games and these different type of games where the defense is locked in, the defensive coordinators locked in on the offensive side of the ball. Scoring field goals and getting field goals is what's gonna get you beat playing against the Baltimore Ravens, playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, playing against the Miami Dolphins, playing against the Los Angeles Chargers, playing against the Buffalo Bills. You got all these teams that you got to worry about that at some point in time that you're gonna have to face into them, and reality gonna kick in. Or, okay, we ain't gonna be able to keep kicking field goals to beat these guys. These guys got talent offensively. They got talent defensively. You know what I'm saying? They got enough talent where they can be able to put up points and stop us from putting up points. It's not these other teams like the Cleveland Browns. No disrespect to the Cleveland Browns at all. The Los Angeles Rams, where the Rams have one of the worst O lines in the NFL right now. Not them teams. We got teams that can actually put up points and stop you from putting up points. And that calls for a level of concern right there. When your offense just haven't been clicking. But this game right here, for them to get that dub, I definitely think this was a huge dub. Definitely a dub to set them in the right direction and something that they can build off of. Like I said, Jamar Chase haven't been getting going all season long in these first 3 games. In these first couple games, and 12 sessions, 141. That's Jamar Chase that we all know. That's the top 5 Jamar Chase receiver. That's top 5 receiver right there in Jamar Chase. We need more of that instead of 6 targets, 4 receptions for 30 yards. That's not beating nobody. That's not beating nobody in the AFC, especially come playoff time. Now I will tip my hat off to the Cincinnati Bengals defense. On Monday night they were playing against a Los Angeles Rams team who is a top 5, have a top 5 passing attack. They top 5 in total yards, and they also it's the best. There's the best team in converting on third downs. With all that being said, the Bengals defense, they came out here on Monday night against the Los Angeles Rams and made the best third down team, which the Los Angeles Rams has a 58 completion percentage on third down. The Bengals made them go from 1 for 11 on third downs, 1 for 4 in the red zone. They had 6 sacks and 2 turnovers in the game on Monday. That just goes to show you that the Cincinnati Bengals defense won them that game on Monday. Every time you look up, every time Matthew Stafford dropped back, you seen Cincinnati helmets, jerseys everywhere. It was all in his face all night. Won't give him no room to breathe. The linebacker number 55, definitely. I think his name was Wilson. I don't want to disrespect him because you definitely had a good night. I think he had two interceptions by himself in that game. A lot of tackles. That's what the Cincinnati Bengals, if they offense gonna be doing what they offense doing, not getting that same production night in, night out. Week in, week out from Jamar Chase, from Joe Burrow, from your 2 studs. You need your defense to be what your defense was on Monday night against the Los Angeles Rams. where they can be able to get off the field on third down, where they can be able to stop the opponent from getting inside. Man, let's move on to the blockbuster trade that happened. Dame has officially been traded to Milwaukee Bucks. He is now teammates with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and man, that duo right there is gonna be so lethal, man. You got one of the top five point guards, offensive point guards that this game has ever seen in my eyes. Damian Lillard with his shooting ability to be able to shoot the ball from 40, 50 feet, from 40, 30 feet out, be able to get to the rim, break a defender down one-on-one, to be able to, somebody who you can trust in high pressure situations, to be able to put the ball in the hoop, to make play down the stretch, and in high leverage moments, you know what I'm saying, the high rolls in big state games. That's why you're going to get somebody like Dame Time, somebody who can be able to bring you home. Uh, that's a home run hitter right there. That was a three team trade right there. The Phoenix Suns, which I will get into that a little bit later. The Phoenix Suns, the Portland Trailblazers, and of course the Milwaukee Bucks was all involved in this trade. Uh, Damian Lillard. I think that's going. Let's start off there. The Milwaukee Bucks. We all know who the Milwaukee Bucks just got. And, having a guy like Damian Lillard, who averaged 32 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, who shot 46% from the field, 38% from the 3-point line last season. Uh, we all know who Dame stand for at Dame Time. You know, somebody who will be able to break down the defense one-on-one. Somebody who will be able to create offensive shots for his teammates, for Giannis, in those late game pressure situations and high pressure moments. Dame will be able to take that pressure off Giannis to make plays down the stretch, to be able to take pressure off Giannis where he don't have to be able to go to the line late in ball games. Because you got Damian Lillard who got the type of talent who can be able to take you home. With that type of talent that he got, with the offensive bag that he has, and that he got, what I'm saying, that's gifted to him. But uh, but when you trade a guy when you trade a guy like Damian Lillard for a person like Jrue Holiday, I hate when people be like, it was just a clear nail biter, a clear doer. It just sometimes people get lost in names instead of fit. What Jrue Holiday did for this Milwaukee Bucks team. A lot of people kind of hiding and mugging it under the rug. Act like they just stepped on gum or something. But Jrue Holiday, what he did defensively for this Milwaukee Bucks team is what helped them get them to the championship. What helped them become a top 10 defense in this league over these last several years because of Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday last season had 112.4 defensive rating. Uh, in the 2021-22 season, in the playoffs, he held guys like Zach LaVine to under 30% shooting from the field. He held Jason Tatum, who was a top 5 player in a lot of people's eyes, to 38% shooting from the field. He held guys like Jalen Brown to 31% shooting from the field. And that's in the playoffs when it really matters the most, where you need your big guys to step up. And he doing that on the defensive side of the ball, keeping guys from getting in their bag. You also got Jrue Holiday. He was ranked last season. He was ranked 3rd in isolation defense. He was ranked 10th in ball screen navigations. He was ranked 10th in all ball screen chasing assignments. He was also ranked 6th in matchup difficulty. Cause we all know Jrue Holiday, he coming out here and guarding Steph. He getting these Dame matchups. He holding Kyrie, he holding Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, guys of those natures. He's going out there and guarding the other opponent's number one guy, and locking them down, and still giving you 19 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 7.4 assists, shooting 48% from the field, and playing at least 60 of the 82 games of the season, which Dame these last couple years has been very injury prone. Last season he missed 24 games because of his hamstring injury. Not his hamstring, I'm sorry, his calf injury and things like that. But the season before that, he also missed 53 games. So these last couple seasons, Dame hasn't been fairly, healthy all the way where he's going to be there when it matters most. So that's a big risk that the Bucks had to take right there. You know what I'm saying? But we all know what the Bucks is getting. They getting a scorer. They getting a primetime player right there in Damian Lillard. They getting somebody who gonna do whatever it takes to win. And they getting somebody who wants to win. too, who's looking to win. So I think this is gonna be a match made in heaven. Uh, uh, as you know, it was other teams that got involved, such as my team, the Phoenix Suns. We traded away DeAndre Ayton. Uh, let me start. Hold on, before I get there, I am a Kevin Durant fan, so he got traded to the Suns, so I am the Suns. So I'm gonna get into that. And we traded DeAndre Ayton for somebody like Yusuf Nurkic, which I don't agree with at all. I understand that DeAndre Ayton has been getting a lot of backlash for his play that he had the last season and what he did and what he showed y'all in the playoffs for last season. He showed very signs of being inconsistent and not having a high motor and all those things like that. But when you got a young talented big man with tremendous upside and potential, a guy like DeAndre Ayton who averaged last year 18 points, 10 rebounds, and shot 59% from the field. Uh, you don't go and trade a guy like that for somebody who's older and averaged 13 points a game, 9.1 rebounds, and shot 52% from the field. Uh, that's just not the way to go, and I just don't agree with it at all. I see a lot of people all over these platforms talking about that Nurkic is just this, you know what I'm saying, just is a better defender than DeAndre Ayton. And I'm not just going on here saying that DeAndre Ayton just his best defender, this all-world defender, that he just his best shot blocker, rim protector, because he's not. But when you compare him to Nurkic, who can't even, you know what I'm saying, like he's not as athletic, you know what I'm saying, he's not as mobile as DeAndre Ayton. Once again, he's not, and he's not as old. Nurkic is a vet. He's old. Uh, he's injury prone. Nurkic has been hurt twice, at least twice in one season in the last 4 to 5 seasons. Yes, I said that correctly. He's been hurt twice in one season in the last 4 to 5 seasons. So why would we want somebody like that when we get an injury prone big man right there and talking about we trying to get somebody who defensive minded? Defensive minded. DeAndre Ayton last year, when guarded by the opponents when guarded by DeAndre Ayton last year, they shot 48% from the field. Now, that's not bad. That's not good. That's middle of the pack. Knowing that most of his points is in the paint, they shot 48% from the field. 2 pointers against DeAndre Ayton, they shot 52% from the field. Less than 6 feet away from the basket, they shot 62% from the field. Which is not just eye-opening stats, eye-opening numbers, or mouth-dropping numbers or anything like that. But that's still better than what Nurkic was giving you. Still with that athleticism and style. You got Nurkic. Opponent's field goal percentage when held against Nurkic, they shot 51%. Less than 10 feet away from the basket, they shot 61%. Less than 6 feet away from the basket was 65%. And 2 pointers against Nurkic was 57%. So basically, they was getting a layup line. If it was a post up, if they shot a jump hook or anything, it was cash against Nurkic. He not doing anything spectacular. He not deterring shots at the rim. You know what I'm saying? He barely getting off the ground jumping. But one thing I will say, Nurkic, he is a big body. He will probably bring more of a motor to the team than DeAndre Ayton did last season. I definitely think he will bring a certain level of physicality that DeAndre Ayton wasn't bringing to the table. That Jock Landale, he was outplaying him, and that goes to show you probably why that they decided to move on from DeAndre Ayton. But when you moving on DeAndre Ayton, a young player with that type of upside, you can't no, Nurkic not gonna cut it. I see a lot of people talking about Nurkic is just a better rim finisher and he's good at the rim and doing all these things. Let y'all know something. Rim finishes this season, DeAndre Ayton had 110 dunks in 67 games. Nurkic had 21 dunks in 52 games. DeAndre Ayton shot 78% at the rim on 362 attempts. Nurkic shot 69% on 269 attempts. So y'all, I just gave y'all the stats right there. So y'all tell me who was better finishing at the rim, DeAndre Ayton or Nurkic. And those numbers I just disputed right there. DeAndre Ayton was well above a better finisher. You know what I'm saying? Way more athletic, way more dunks in more games. DeAndre Ayton, He was in the lineup. You want not really an injury prone guy like that. Didn't really miss time like that. He was gonna be in the lineup. Another thing you got to question with DeAndre Ayton is his motor, and that's a big thing to question. That when you trying to when you trying to get to that level that the Phoenix Suns trying to reach, which is ultimately a championship, when you got to go against Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns and Sabonis and Jokic and and guys of that nature that you have to be up and stop or be able to go toe to toe and look them in the eyes. DeAndre Ayton just wasn't doing that. But I just don't think you just go out there and trade somebody like DeAndre Ayton, who got some tremendous upside, who's way more athletic, way more versatile in my opinion than Nurkic is, and who Nurkic is older and got more injury prone. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But hey, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they see something that I don't. I'm ready to see it. But a player that we did get in the trade that I do like is Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is somebody who can come off our bench and possibly win us a couple games in the playoffs. Definitely win us a couple games in the regular season because I've seen it happen. He was a formidable a key piece and key piece to the Milwaukee Bucks' success over these last few years. A key contributor. Uh, Last year he averaged 10 points a game, three rebounds, 2.3 assists in 27 minutes. He shot 44% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, in which, if you watch any of our games last year in the playoffs against in that Nugget series, Shamit and, we had Rain Wright and guys of that nature just sitting wide open in the corner. We just needed them to hit threes whenever they brought, those blitzes, double team, traps against KD and Book. Now that's why we kind of got somebody like Grayson Allen who will be able to knock down those shots, who will be able to create, for himself, also for others, on his own, who won't just be a, handicap. In the playoffs, Grayson Allen shot 46% from the field, 48% from the 3-point line, and this was in the playoffs. So when the going gets tough and the tough get going, he shot 48% from the three. And I'm pretty sure he not going to be getting the open looks playing with three heavy hitter, heavy scores that he got, in Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. The gravity that those three gonna attract on the court at the same time, and having somebody like Grayson Allen, is gonna be a very, very, very good addition for our team. I think he's also a solid defender too as well. People underrate that his defensive chops. I'm not saying that he's the best defender. I'm not saying he's a bad defender. I think he's very solid. He's a very average defender. He'll get the job done. He's not out here gonna take out the opponent's best player or anything like that, but he'll be able to get out here and hold his own. And I like getting somebody like that. Like I said, he fits what we trying to do. We already got KD, Book, you got Bill, who we know gonna go out there and do what they need to do when it's time to do what they need to do. We just needed last season, no playoffs. We just needed one or two guys to step up. In this offseason, you seen we got Yuta Watanabe, number one 3-point catch and shoot percentage in the NBA last season. We went and got Eric Gordon, shot 40% from the 3-point line. A former 6-man of the year, candidate and 6-man of the year. We went and got Grayson Allen, who shot 40% from the 3. You went and got Kato Base Diop, who shot 39% from the 3. You went and got guys, everybody that they got this offseason has length and they can shoot the rock. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing that we need when you got, those lethal scores and that three-headed monster and Book, Bill, and KD. Add somebody like Grayson Allen to this mix, it definitely going to be, you know what I'm saying, a sight to see. I think we did get a lot deeper with this trade. The only thing I just didn't like about it is I would much rather have DeAndre Ayton than have use of Nurkic. But that's just me personally, you know what I'm saying? But everybody is different. But I think this kind of concludes that my this episode 24. Y'all go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Y'all gonna keep tuning in for me. And I got more on the way.